We back again. You know we never slacking off. Judah Ben, yo. Ladies and gents, get prepared for another greater event. If you never linked, then make an attempt. On Fridays, there's really no other way to be spent. Tune in, hit the link, and leave likes and comments. Welcome to TD Sports Talk. Here we bring sports and entertainment weekly. They break it down deeply. Come peep me as I spit, leave most confused. Pay attention while I introduce the host and crew. Starting off, we got Tommy the host. He plugged in, his predictions transparent like a ghost. Yo, I think that he been doing this the most. He first joined in March 2013. His resume was first seen. Then we got the co-host, Mr. Socrates. His analogy surgical like a doctor squeeze. The live show was nasty like a dirty beer. Tommy and Sock, they've been friends for over 30 years. Peep me, we got the final host D-Free from out of DC. You need to wake up, you sleepy. If you're checking out the live and you feel the vibes, like the video, subscribe, get notified. Take a picture cause this moment should be polarized. Tommy's legacy and resume is notarized. Whether it's Friday or Saturday, he going live. Click the bell and I promise you'll get notified.
What's good, YouTube? What is going on? What's going on? What is good? This is Tommy D. Late night on a Sunday night. Not my usual time. Usually we go on Friday nights, but I haven't been on for a minute. It's been a while. It's been weeks since I've done a live. Just been busy. A lot of things been going on. So just figured I'd come here. I got some time to just kill and just come up here and talk. I see who's in here. Pedro. What's going on, Pedro? My man, Pedro Fernandez. I appreciate that. Yes, it's we're gonna talk about a little bit. D-Free, what's going on? Daniel Berry Sports, what's going on? Yeah, so I'll just start off. So basically, a few days ago I got a text from my sister because I guess they didn't want anybody to know real quick because I guess they were told my cousin told my sister not to say anything, but just wanted to let her know. Actually, it wasn't my cousin. It was my cousin's husband. So, like, my cousin was kind of like, which is my uncle's daughter, was really, like, messed up and shaken up. So the husband called just to give her, to let her know and to let people know, but not to, say anything. So, anyway, so that's why we got a text about it. And my uncle, one of three uncles that kind of took care of me. Anybody that knows me personally knows that I came up. I wasn't raised by my mom and dad. After 9 years old, they went into some crazy issues with each other and pretty much bounced. My father brought me over to my aunt's house, where I was pretty much raised by my aunts, which is basically the way the family tree works. Is really weird the way we categorize our my family members. Technically, it was my great aunts, right? It was my mother's aunts, and my aunt, the same aunts that took care of my mother when she was young, so they raised her as like she was one of, like their own child, right? As well as my aunt's sons, which we kind of proclaim as our uncles because they grew up together, right? So like, usually they grew up as brother and sister, but they technically were cousins. So basically that's why we call them uncles. So my great aunt, who passed away a few years ago, about this time, I believe she passed away September 1st, yesterday, a few years ago. She passed away at 98 years old. She had three sons. And one of them was my godfather, which was my Uncle Angel. And he was always around and he was a father figure. And, he taught me a lot as far as like, he used to own a garage here in the Bronx. He had his own mechanic garage. He owned it for years here before he moved to Tennessee. And he was my godfather. And he passed away pretty much like months after, like my aunt, his mom had passed away. And then after that was my aunt's brother, which was my Uncle Johnny, who basically lived in the house. So in the house that we lived in was me and my two brothers at first. It was my Uncle Johnny who was there. He was pretty much the father figure because he was there, right? And so he had passed away pretty much a year before my aunt passed away, but nobody knew about it. But that's a whole story within itself. So he pretty much was the father figure, always take us out fishing and, taught us this and this and that, because he was basically like a father, right? Even though he's my uncle. And then there was my uncle, Barry, which we call Uncle Barin. And he passed away a few days ago. I believe he had dementia the last couple years of his life. And he would always come around. He didn't live in the house, but he always came around, weekly on the weekends, and during the week, a few days a week he'd come by, see his mom, and say what's up. And he was the only one of my uncles that would talk sports. My other uncles didn't really care much for sports, right? So he's the only one who took his sports, and he used to bring over the sheets, when I was in high school, like the little football betting sheets, and we would bet college football games on those little tickets. I don't know if anybody knows the little tickets they give out, which is hard to win because the spreads is always from that Monday. And a push you would lose and all that other stuff. So he would bring me the tickets, and we would talk sports. He was a big Mets fan, a big Jets fan. And also, he loved Florida State. We used to always go at it with Florida State. And especially, I'm a Notre Dame fan. And when Florida State won their first title, we had a little bit of trash talk, because Notre Dame beat them that year. Notre Dame beat Florida State in the last 1-2 in the regular season in Notre Dame. And but then they ended up, Notre Dame ended up losing to Boston College the following week. And then Florida State didn't lose the rest of the games. So Florida State ended up winning the national title, which I thought was BS. But that was the first, title that they won. And, my uncle was happy because he was a big Florida State fan. And, we used to talk about that. And, we talk about sports and he liked boxing, but not as a big boxing fan as my Uncle Johnny was. But, he watched, he talked sports, my uncle, he did a lot. He worked for UPS for a long time. He retired UPS, and he moved down to Florida, and he lived, the rest of his life in Tampa Bay. So so it just it hurts because obviously he's like one of the 3 father figures, in my life besides my actual father, who didn't really do much, but I consider him more a father to me than anyone. One of the things he used to do, he still remember as a kid. So I moved there pretty much when we was 9 years old. So I was 9, my brother, and we separated by 3 years. My brother's 6, then my other brother, was 3. We moved over to my aunt's house. And on the weekends, what Barin used to do, he used to come on Saturdays, and we used to look forward to that. He would bring his youngest daughter, at the time, before his youngest daughter now. So he had 2 daughters at the time. And he would always take us to the movies. And we always look forward to that because we never got a chance to go to movies or do anything. So I think every few Saturdays he would always take us to the movies. So which was cool because nobody else was taking me and my brother to the movies. So he was always around. And for my honeymoon he gave us the stay at our honeymoon when me and my wife got married. We went to Cancun. He gave us the resort and the place we stood at. He gave, that was his gift. I'll never forget that, so, and yeah, I'd call him every now and then and we just talk, just, about things and stuff. And, there's a little bit of sports here and there, just checking up and stuff, so, I just want to send, special condolences to my cousins. He has 3 daughters. They're doing fine now. I kind of briefly chatted with text-wise with the oldest daughter yesterday. But so that's been, one of the things that's been going on. And so I've been, it's been kind of bothering me on top of the fact that, my daughter left for school and she's been gone. I'm actually in her room right now doing this now. Now I got a little bit of space, so I took advantage. And you know what I'm saying? So she's away and it's different. It's different. I got my son here and then my wife, and it's just different. My daughter not being here and she's like doing her own thing. And then, I got to deal with, my wife and stuff when my daughter doesn't call, right? Because, my daughter's doing her, right? She did great to have this opportunity to get the scholarships, to get, all these things and to go away and to, to learn to be an adult as well as get an education. So she's doing great things. And, it's a little bit different. I miss her. I'll text her every now and then and she'll text back and, she'll joke with me or whatever. So that on top of some other things. And I haven't been on YouTube as of late. Also, I haven't really watched videos and stuff. Been ever since came back from the meet and greet in Atlanta with the LDBC, the Lions Den Boxer community group. We was there. We had a great time. I did a live about that. That was the last live I did. That was great. I wish I could go back to that. It was we had an awesome time. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't been watching no videos much of anything, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get back in the groove. We're gonna get back to it. I was gonna do something tonight with Sock and Free, but I never got followed up with them. I wanted to do football and do our picks. Maybe I'll try it out. I see D Free in the building. Sorry, D Free was good. D Free Frontline was good. Arnaldo Nieves, what's going on? Salute to you. Mr. Shelton, what's going on? Appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, so hopefully we'll try to do something before Thursday and maybe do our little picks as like the winners of divisions and maybe do some over-unders and stuff. And then Fridays, we're going to try to get back into the groove, do our football stuff. We'll talk a little boxing, but I think we're going to focus on football this week. Boxing has been kind of slow the last couple weeks anyways. You know what I'm saying? So we'll probably do our picks. We're definitely going to do our picks like we did last year. Because we all did good. We all finished over 500. We'll be doing our picks with the spreads because I'm assuming D Free is going to do his picks on his live. Hopefully he does it like he did last year, and he'll do it with just picking straight up wins and stuff. Yeah, all right, Mr. Shelton. Yeah. But so we'll do it with the spreads. I know, and then D Free he does it straight up picks. So yeah, looking forward to that. Football starting Thursday, and then we got games Friday. So, but I'm definitely gonna go live. I don't care how long that game takes Friday. Which weird. I think that's the first thing to do Friday. I think that game is Brazil, right? I think it's what Green Bay is playing. I'm not sure who they play. I know Green Bay is playing Friday in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken, which is weird. NFL with the money grab as usual. But yeah, so we'll get back to it. I got a few other things. I wanted to do a couple of videos. I wanted to bring back the boxing casual, the casual boxing fan. I might do that. It's just a spoof, video. I give predictions and just break down some fights and, talk a little trash. Not me, my cousin. Sorry. Some people think it's me. It's not me. It's my cousin. He gets on. So I'm going to bring him back on. Hopefully that gets put together. And our quarterback is Tootsie. Yeah. We're going to see Gino this year. The offense, they got the weapons. Let's see how they do with this new coaching. It's crazy. I haven't even looked at much as what Seattle's been doing. I'm really high in the guy they drafted from Texas, Byron Mitchell, I think his name. I can't get his name. I know he's from the defensive lineman. He's phenomenal. So I'm really excited for him and that defense. Our coach is a defensive-minded coach. That's what we need, defense, especially up front. When it comes to Seattle, the secondary, I think Seattle secondary is one of the best in football. But you got to put pressure. You can't give the quarterback too much time because it don't matter how good your secondary is, you get picked apart, and that's what the problem was with Seattle. So, but I'm high in Seattle secondary for sure. Linebackers, whole new linebacker crew, and the defensive line is solid. Offensive line is pretty decent. Just got to stay out of the injuries, bro. The injuries is killing us. But I'm excited for Seattle. I'll see what they do. I'm not expecting them to do anything great. But you never know. I just want to beat the Niners at least once because we hate the Niners. We as in or anybody that's not a Niner fan. If you're a Niner fan, you don't hate the Niners. But I believe that if you're not a Niner fan, I believe you hate the Niners. So as you should. But yeah, so that Friday we'll be bringing that back. Talk a little boxing. Last night I did catch some of the fights. I saw Pacheco. At first I wasn't really impressed with Pacheco, the last few fights, especially his last fight. Last night he looked okay. He got hit a little bit too much for my liking. I know he's only 23 years old. He's still learning. I don't think he's ready for the big fights yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. But I'm not too high on Pacheco. I'm not sure how anybody else feels because I haven't been watching anybody's content. But I'll be starting to watch again this week, get back in the groove, see what's going on. But and then I saw the guy that I'm really high on, my man Kane Sandoval. He fought last night. He got a stoppage. He fought this Filipino kid that also, the Filipino, I forget his name, but he fought Frank Martin and he fought Ryan Garcia, and he got stopped by both those guys. I think Frank Martin stopped him in the fourth, and Ryan Garcia, I think, stopped him in the first round. And then Kane Sandoval, he stopped him with a body shot in the 6th. You know, he didn't look too great, Kane Sandoval. And I've been talking a lot about this kid. You know, I like him. Hopefully I could bring him on one day. You know, we've been messaging back and forth here and there. So I'm hoping to bring him on. But, you know, he was getting hit with the right hand a lot, especially that first round. You know, if that guy had a little bit more pop, I don't know. So, I mean, and then, you know, it was good to see at the end of the fight, he said that he wasn't impressed with his fight. And I like to hear that because it wasn't as impressive. I mean, the body shot was nice and clean, and it was, you know, it was good. And, you know, he started to come around after that first round, but he got hit too much. If you look at his left eye was pretty much almost closed. It was swollen. But I guess the guy didn't have pop. I think he mentioned that in the post fight that, you know, the guy didn't really hit hard. But you know, I still like the kid. He's 100. You know, he fights at 140. You know, 140 is a deep division, so I'd like to see him fight another like a former champion or a contender. I like to see him move up and, you know, and fight somebody like that. But he can't fight the way he did. I believe he can box a little better. You know, I don't want to see him coming out like Brandon Rios. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Rios was like kind of like that, where he's, you know, he could punch and he could fight, but he didn't really, you know, box. I believe this kid can box. You know, but last night he didn't show it. So other than that, nothing really, you know, going on in boxing. So, I mean, in only 2 weeks, we got Berlanga against Canelo. Not really thrilled for that. You know, I'm pumped up for Berlanga's trainers. You know, Berlanga kind of rubs me the wrong way sometimes, man. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm rooting for him, but it's just, I don't know, with him and the way he speaks and the interviews, it's like cringe sometimes, you know? I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or, I mean, I don't know if anybody else feels that way. It's like I get the cringe feeling every time he opens his mouth sometimes, you know. But I am rooting for him. You know, I have a lot of respect for his trainers, Mark and Ray Ferret. You know, so I you know, I want Berlanga to win mostly for them, and mostly just to get Canelo out of there. You know, but yeah, my man Anthony Bolton was good, bro. What's going on? He says, "Yeah, absolutely." I'm always thinking that out loud, Anthony. Always thinking that out loud. What up? What up, DS3? What's going on? Oh man, what did he say? If I had a, yeah. But you don't, and I'm not giving those super registers, and because it'd be chaos in here if I did that. But yeah, man, another thing I wanted to bring up, just a side note. I've been watching a lot of the stuff with the troll. So I haven't really been watching YouTube, but I've noticed like some of the titles and the back and forth with the trolls, and you know, I honestly wish it would all stop, man. I mean, I just don't understand why people can't just do their content and just move on. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this. This purpose is not here to come up here and just troll another channel and troll other people or talk about other people. Just talk about what you want to talk about. You want to troll, go in the chat and troll. That's what the trolls are for. Not, you know, now we got trolls that make videos. Like this is it's insane, you know, and I just think it's just dumb. You know, at least have it in good taste and make it funny. Make me laugh. But some of it is just kind of like, another thing that's cringe is those back and forths. And I just wish it would stop. And hopefully it does. You know, I have a lot of, you know, good relationships, you know, behind the scenes, obviously, you know, with people that I've met, because I've met a bunch of people on YouTube, and I've not met a bad person yet. And I think everybody is solid and cool. And even the people that I speak to on the phone, you know, I know maybe some people have dislikes and disagreements and stuff like that. And, you know, I just disagree just not to like them and just, I guess, stay in your own lane. And I mean, maybe it's easier for me to say because I'm not involved, nor I want to be involved. But I just, you know, let's just do our own thing and move on and support each other, or support who you want to support, and just, you know, this shit is not easy, bro. It's this content is not, you know, I'm coming here talking, I'm freestyling off the top of the dome. I'm just talking, having a conversation with you guys, yet nobody's conversating back. I'm just reading the chat. But it's not easy. It's not easy to you know, dialogue and what you want to say, and, you know, where it's appealing, and intriguing to your audience, where they want to stay and watch. I think it's hard. I'm still learning it, myself, trying to get my wordplay together, like a lot of the channels that I follow that I like. I think a lot of the channels that I follow, I think they're really good at that. Way better than me. With me, I just think that, in my opinion, obviously I'm going to be biased towards myself, of course. I just think I know a little bit more than some of the channels as far as maybe boxing or football or some sports. Whether I can articulate it better than them, I don't think I can. I think I'm still working on that. And that's where you guys come in. I watch you guys and I kind of learn from that. But as far as like talking about sports and boxing, I feel like I know, just as much as them, maybe a little bit more. And I have to be like that in order for me to feel the way I feel, so I could, do what I do. Maybe you guys may have a different opinion, and that's cool. That's why I always like the comments, so I could read the comments and take it from there. Even if it's a little funny insult, it ain't gonna bother me. But yeah, those are the kind of the topics. I was thinking also to start the members only channel on here as well, like to do the members only, do a real cheap and low. And the reason I want to do that is what I'm want to do is I collect memorabilia, and I think some of y'all know that I do cards. I have some boxing gloves signed by fighters, and what I want to do is I might open that up and get a members only, see how that goes, because I go to the fights, and even though I may get credentials thanks to my guy Pedro, I do buy a ticket as well. Right. So like this September 27th, there's a fight Friday the 27th in the Garden. And I'm not happy with the main event, and I'm not happy with the fights as well. But I'm going. I got a ticket to the fight. I put it for the credentials. And if I get credentials, I'm going to probably still sit in my seat, And the reason I want to do that is to help me, go to these fights as well and pay for these fights. Not that I need anybody to help me, because I'm paying for it anyway, you feel me? But, because I do videos there and I try to catch some many views, and I try to take some solid pictures and videos because I'm up close to the ring, and I post it. So it's like a kind of like a help out, help me help you, right, with the content. So I'm gonna experiment with that probably this week or next week. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do it. I'm gonna auction off. When that works out, I'll probably try to auction off some of the memorabilia. I do have a Ray Leonard glove. I think that's going to be one of the ones that I'm going to auction off. Not auction off, sorry. Wrong use of words. Raffle off, not auction. Auction is to the highest bidder. I'll probably raffle it off. Do a really cheap raffle and hopefully get enough money where I'm going to use that money, not for my own personal, it's for my own personal use, but to go to the fights, right? To help pay for these fights. But like I said, it's not, I don't want people to think like I'm here trying to get money to go, you know what I'm saying? Because I do pretty well for myself. Saying not to brag, but I do pretty well for myself. But I'm just going to experiment it. I see other people doing it. I do support a lot of different channels that have members only too. And that's because I like the content, right? But I'm going to just experiment that. So that's another thing I may just do also. But I have some good stuff. I have I have some stuff that maybe some people might not, but I think it's cool. I got Ray Mancini signed trunks, not worn trunks, so don't get it twisted. It's not, but it's a nice little trunk signed by him. What else I have? I think I have a Rahman signed glove. Not a big heavyweight champion, but he's a former heavyweight champion. I think I got a Chris Bird signed glove too. All these stuff I have in storage because my wife will not let me have it in the house. So, and I guess rightfully so, because it'll take up space. So, but I'd like to close that storage unit and get rid of some of that stuff, and bring the rest of it inside until I finally move out of here, because that's another thing I want to do eventually by next year. But yeah, I'm just seeing what's going on. But yeah, just you guys let me know what you guys think as well. I appreciate you guys in the chat. Mr. Shelton's killing me here. He's a clown, bro. You got some funky gym shorts. Nah, they're not no worn shirt. None of this is worn or used stuff. This is stuff that I guess they go and they sign it. They have these things out with their names on. They sign it, and it's got everything that I have has an authentication card, meaning that means it was witnessed that it was signed. So that's your proof that it's not no fake signature. That you can look up. It has a number and everything. So. But when these guys, they do signings and stuff like that. So I have a bunch of stuff. I have some cards that I may do auction off too, baseball, football as well. I may auction off. I have some signed cards. I have patches. I have some, cards that are worth pretty decent. So I may do some raffles as well. I keep saying auction, raffle. Yeah, so that's just an idea that came across my mind. I figured I might do um, for the channel to try to expand it. But we got a couple things, that we've been wanting to do. And, talking to Sock behind the scenes, just haven't got a chance to do it. Sock's been busy as well. D Free's doing his thing. D Free is pretty much my number one co-host. Sorry, Sock, you got to work your way up. Nah, but Sock's been busy. Sock is training a couple guys. I believe Sock is working with Ali Feliz now, the young prospect, heavyweight prospect. So I got to touch base with him. Maybe we could get him on as well. He will be fighting on September 27th. But let's talk about that card. I wanted to do a show about the card, but this is the main event. Ryan versus Michaela Mayer. I have nothing against Michaela Mayer. I think she's good. I think she's a good fighter. But she lost the last fight, right? I think she lost the last fight, even though I thought she won. And I think she lost 2 of her last 3. She lost a close fight to Alicia Baumgartner. I mean, that fight could have went either way, right? I have no problem with the decision at all. But I just don't see how she's the main event. The last main event was Xander Zayas versus Teixeira in the Garden. So now we're back in the Garden. We got Xander Zayas, now the co-main event to Michaela Mayer. I don't get it. Am I the only one seeing something wrong with this? I'm not sure Xander Zayas is fighting. I had it up. But, another one, you had co-main event in the last fight in June. You had Shushu, Bruce Carrington. And, he sells. He's probably New York's best fighter right now, best prospect. He's not a prospect right now. No more. I would say he's a contender. He's New York's best fighter, and I don't understand. He's not even the co-main event. He's the third fight. So it's Michaela Mayer is the main event versus Ryan. Ryan is a solid fighter, but it looks like they're trying to get a belt on Mayer. That's what it looks like to me. They're trying to get Mayer a title, right? They're bringing this girl from the UK over. Then you got Xander Zayas, the co-main event, and then Shushu, the third fight. Then Shushu, I believe Shushu should be fighting somebody better than the guy that he's fighting. I'm not. This is saying I'm not happy with the card. Shame on me for purchasing a ticket, but I always try to support, the New York fights. But yeah, man, like let me look in this. Like I'm not happy like with this guy. I was looking it up the other day. I'm on my work laptop, so I thought I had it up. I have it up in my personal laptop. But he's fighting this guy, Suleiman Zagawa. And he's 17-4. He's been stopped already once before. And he's 1-1 in his last 2 fights. He got stopped by Jermaine Ortiz like years ago. I don't understand it. And then Xander's young. I can understand, like, he's still developing, right? He's fighting Damian Sosa, 25-2. It's a good fight for him at this stage. But I just think that they should do better. I think, you're in the Garden now. Like, I just think they should have had a better fight. You know what I'm saying? Then this is the main event. I don't understand why you're going to put Xander Zayas co-main event to Michaela Mayer when you just had Xander as the main event in June. And honestly, people are coming to the fight to watch Xander and to watch Shushu. They're not really coming to watch Michaela Mayer. No disrespect to her, but come on, let's be honest. They're not coming to see her. They're coming to see Xander and Shushu. I just thought that it should have been, maybe a better card. Overall, I know Tiger Johnson is going to be on the card. Ali Feliz is supposed to be on the card, and I forgot the other guy that's supposed to be on the card. I can't get it off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, it should have done better. You guys let me know what you guys think, but nobody's. I'm not hating. You want to pay money to see Michaela Mayer? I mean, she looks good. She's pretty. I've met her. I met her in person. She's always at the fights. She goes out with my man Sock's best friend, the puncher, the former puncher for the Raiders. He's usually with her too at the fights. Sock hates him, by the way. But I don't want to see her. I would like to see her fight, but she's not a main event, man. She's not a main eventer, especially here in New York. No way, no shot. Put Xander back in the main event. I really thought it was going to be Shushu Carrington. That was a rumor in the beginning. And then my boy Ofacio, they promised he was going to be in the card, and they told him that he's not going to be on the card. So Ofacio Falcone will not be fighting in this card, even though they told him that he was. There's a rumor that I believe Matchroom is supposed to come to New York in October. So hopefully that's true, and hopefully Ofacio could get on that card because Ofacio Falcone is a free agent. So hopefully you get on that card. And I'm hoping 360 would come in November where I get to see hopefully they bring Kane Sandoval back to New York. But that's it for New York as far as I know. I think there's an Atlantic City card on the same night as this card on Friday, September 27th. I'm not sure who's main eventing that. I wonder if Stacia will be on that card. She's 1-0 professionally. She fights out of Philadelphia, but she's from the Bronx, New York. That's another fight I want to get on the show as well. My man Skywalker had her on last month. She's a real good fighter. She fights at welterweight. She's really, really good. So she just had her first pro fight, and she got a stoppage. So she fought in Atlantic City. So I'm assuming they might put her again on the same night as this. But I won't be able to see it because I'll be in this fight September 27th. So, by the way, Skywalker had an interview today. He interviewed Keith Colon as well. I didn't get a chance to look at it. I'm going to probably watch it after this. Skywalker, Keith Colon is another good prospect. We saw last month against in July, we saw him against Sam getting his pro debut in Newark in the undercard of Shakur Stevenson's fight. Hopefully Keith Colon can get a fight in New York. That'll be great. I'll definitely be there to support. Shout out to Keith Colon and his pops. They sent me a shirt too. Team Keith Colon. That was pretty good and nice of them. I've been asking for a shirt for months though, and they sent me one. I believe they sent shirts to multiple supporters and stuff. But I'm looking to maybe buy a couple more and for his next fight as well. So shout out to Keith Colon and his pops. Very, very good people. And of course I wish them the very best. But if you guys get a chance to want to check out an interview with Skywalker, I believe him and Tim Witherspoon Jr. and a couple of other guys that's usually there. They probably did the interview. So check him out if you get a chance. So, but yeah, that's it. I just wanted you guys to let you know what's been going on. I haven't been doing no content. Trill Will, what's good, bro? Terror Squad Tommy. Man, I love that shirt, man. I got to get another one from you, bro. I love that shirt. Terror Squad Tommy. LDVC, bro. Shout out to the LDVC, man. I got nothing but love for them, man. Man, I wish I could go back to, man, we had a fucking dope-ass time, man. Oh, man, it was great meeting Will and everybody, seeing 78 again, hanging out with my man Drew, like back in the day in high school, so shout out to them. And I can't wait for the next one, man. Shit. But yeah, man, ever since then, I haven't really done any content, man. I haven't done anything, the usual suspects. I haven't been able to watch any content. So I want to get back to it, get back into the mix. I appreciate everybody that came in to show love today. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your opinions. If I should do the members only channel, should I do it? I'm going to experiment to see how it works. Keep it super, super cheap. Talking about like $1 to join. I mean, it's just, like I said, I'm going to auction off some stuff. And I got a couple ideas that I want to do with me, Sock and D Free. We're going to be talking football now. Football season's here. My Irish won and college football started yesterday. Go Irish. They got a win against Texas A&M. They didn't look too good offensively. I don't know if that was Texas A&M's defense or the quarterback. The quarterback did well running, but throwing, he's pretty much off target. The running game got going a little bit. A lot of hesitation in runs. I guess you get that a lot in the first games in college football. So it's just good to get a win on the road in a tough environment. Winning at Texas A&M, the 12th man, at night is not easy. But I think Notre Dame is better than what they showed yesterday. They got a young team, young offensive line. So it's good to get that first game out the way. So let's see how they do this season. This year you got 8 teams make the playoffs or 12 teams make the playoffs this year. So anything can happen. So go Irish, baby. Georgia looked phenomenal yesterday. They put the boots to Clemson yesterday. I mean, they, stomped them out and everything, man. That was, Penn State had a nice win at West Virginia. West Virginia's not easy to play at. That was a good win for Penn State. Penn State got a lot of returning starters from what I read and what I've seen yesterday in College Game Day. Another impressive Vanderbilt with the upset. I think they beat Virginia Tech. College football, man, is back, man. Very interesting to see how these teams do. When they start mentioning Michigan looked good yesterday. They got a big game next week. I believe is they Michigan playing Texas next week? If anybody knows that for sure, let me know. I believe Michigan's playing Texas. Texas won like 52-0 yesterday. So Texas is a real good team. So that's a big game as well. I know Michigan's playing somebody really good next week. And I feel like it's Texas before they start playing like that Big Ten Ten games. But if anybody knows for sure, let me know in the chat. But I believe Michigan plays Texas. I could be wrong about that. But that's a huge game. Michigan, the defending champs. I hate Michigan just because I got friends that like Michigan. So, me being a hater, that's all it is. Just like there's Notre Dame haters, right? Alabama, I think they played an easy team yesterday. They looked good. They want to blow out. Texas had true will. No. You're a fucking fool. You're a fool, bro. Yeah. Oh man. Number 52. Yeah, so I think it's Texas and I might as well just look it up. I mean, I'm not doing anything crazy. Let me see. I think Michigan plays Texas. I think that's the game of the week. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up right now. Yep, September 7th, Texas at Michigan. So that's a huge game. Wow. And USC. Oh, that's right. USC's in the Big Ten now, right? They got a lot. Those teams from the Pac-10 moved to the Big Ten. The Big Ten is stacked. Wow, the Big Ten is stacked. That's right. Oregon's in the Big Ten now. Ooh, yeah. Michigan finally got to play a tough schedule. Good, good. So so that's a huge game next week. Wow. So, let's see. Let's look at the games next week real quick. Let's see, because I know NFL starts next week. But there's some big college games next week as well. Let's look to see who plays. But Michigan and Texas has definitely got to be the game of the week. There's no doubt about it. Definitely game of the week. That means College Game Day's probably got to be in Michigan next week. I don't see where else they could go. Let's see. I'll tell you right now all the big games next week. Let's see. Let's go to top 25. Hold the phone. Let's see. Let's see. What are the totals? Number 4 versus number. Wow, Michigan's ranked 9. I thought Michigan would be higher. Georgia playing the tough Tennessee Tech. That they just score like 100. Iowa State. Notre Dame plays Northern Illinois. So at Notre Dame, they should win that. Ole Miss and Middle Tennessee. Miami's playing Florida A&M. So not many big games. Alabama playing South Florida. South Florida's not as good as they were. LSU against Nicholls State. Yeah, no ranked versus ranked teams next week except Texas and Michigan. That's it. Every ranked team plays an unranked team. Ohio State plays Western Michigan. Oklahoma against Houston. Kansas is ranked. They play at Illinois. That's a tough game. For Kansas, they ranked 22. So, yeah, Utah's playing Baylor. They're ranked. Texas A&M still ranked. McNeese State. So, yeah, so that definitely the game of the week is definitely Michigan at home versus Texas. By far. So I figured game day will definitely be there next week. And then NFL starts. Any crazy predictions? Anybody got any predictions about NFL this week? Besides somebody saying the Niners, because I know the Niners are going to win it all, right? 3 straight Super Bowl losses. I love it. Yo, did you see that video that they made about the Niners? I think a Seahawk fan made it about the Niners. If you haven't, Google it and look it up. It's funny. Kui, what's good? Oh man, no paper bags this year because I don't have high expectations. But last year I was mad when they lost to the Rams because they were supposed to beat the Rams that first game. So I'm no paper bag this year. Maybe a mask. The Seahawks they might stink this year. It's not going to bother me as much. It may bother me if they lose to the Jets because I plan on going to that game. So that's different. Me going to the Jet game and the Seahawks playing the Jets and they lose, then yeah, that's gonna bother me. But other than that, it's, I don't have high expectations. My only expectation is this: if Seattle can make the playoffs and the Niners don't win the Super Bowl, that's it. Other than that, I could care less. So that's it. It's hate the Niners and go Hawks. That's it. Then after that, I don't care what happens. Brown paper. I had a brown paper bag, DS3. I don't know if you've seen it. I had a brown paper bag. 49ers got 120 million. Everybody hates. Oh yeah, Ayuk. Yeah, he got paid. He's good though. He's really good. He's really good. I'm surprised they I thought they were gonna trade him. Because the Niners got some big contracts out. They gave Kittle got getting paid a lot of money. Debo's getting paid a lot of money, and now Ayuk. And then McCaffrey, I don't know his contract. The Niners got a lot of big contracts out there. That's why I was shocked that they gave the money to Ayuk. But he's good. Ayuk is really good. I just hate the Niners. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll see about that. We're gonna the Jets are in disarray. You haven't reading all the posts and all the articles about the Jets that Rodgers is saying that this team is in disarray, and the Jets played the Niners, I believe, the first game, right? Is that a Monday night game? I think the Jets played the Niners. I'm rooting for the Jets. I know that's your second team. I'm rooting. Let's go Jets. I got the world against the Niners. I got the world against the Niners. Oh man. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, next week is some intriguing games too. I did a fantasy draft earlier today. Ravens Chiefs, that's a big game. I think the Ravens are going to beat the Chiefs Thursday night. Let's see what other big games. You got the Texans and the Colts. The Texans, everybody's thinking the Texans going to have a big year this year. They made that trade for Diggs. They got, made some signings, but they're only 2.5 favorite on the road against the Colts. The Colts, they're expecting them to be very competitive this year. I'm not sure how they're going to look. That's a trap game. If you ever thought of talking about betting the spreads, we'll probably talk about that more Friday with Sock and D Free. But that I'm already seeing it. The Texans are favored 2.5 on the road versus the Colts. That looks too easy. Looks too good to be true. Too good to be true. Vikings Giants, nobody cares. Patriots Bengals, nobody cares, except if Jamar Chase is going to sign. And because I believe he's holding out. Titans Bears, nobody cares. Steelers Falcons, nobody cares. Broncos Seahawks, I care. Let's go Hawks. Seahawks should win at home. They better win at home. You know what? If the Seahawks don't beat the Broncos at home, the paper bag is coming back. So expect the paper bag. If the Seahawks do not beat the Broncos this week at Seattle, the paper bag will be coming back. I promise you. Raiders Chargers, nobody cares. Maybe Socrates will care. He's a Raiders fan. Cowboys Browns, that's a good game. Cowboys favorite. Cowboys are underdogs to the Browns in Cleveland, 2.5. I could see that. It's in Cleveland. That's tough. Home opener. Cleveland fans, they're gonna sell out. Commanders Buccaneers, nobody cares. Rams play the Lions, and the Jets play the 49ers on Monday night. Niners are favored 3.5 in Santa Clara, not San Francisco, because the Niners don't play in San Francisco. They play in Santa Clara. So, and then Friday, Packers Eagles is another good game, but that's in Brazil. Another NFL money grab, playing in Brazil. Wow. A1 Hoops was good, bro. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, man. A1, what's going on? We're talking football. I know basketball is coming up soon. If you guys, want to follow good basketball content, follow my guy A1 Hoop Zone. But yeah, that's all I got, man. We're gonna talk more about these football games, but keep in mind that Texans Colts game, already spotting that as I don't know, man. I think the Colts may pull that upset off in that first week in Indianapolis. Richardson's coming back off that injury. Damn, man. Why are you telling me to shut up? That's messed up, man. Let's go. Don't you like the Jets too? Try a plastic bag. You scumbag. That's messed. But the Cowboys, the Cowboys going to be good. Defensively, they were solid last year in big spots. I'm intrigued to see the running game for the Cowboys. Zeke is back. They got like 4 running backs there. That I wonder if they're gonna, if it's gonna be committee or rotation. I wonder how that's gonna work there. But the Cowboys, Dak, you already know Dak. You know what Dak does. Dak is a streaky quarterback. He'll play 5 straight games really good, and then he'll hit you with 2 straight games of very, very, very bad. So, but CD Lamb got paid, and CD Lamb's a monster receiver. He was ranked like top 2 of all receivers in fantasy, and rightfully so. He's a monster. He's a stud. This football season is going to be very intriguing, especially in the NFC. The NFC, I don't really see any dominant teams. I think the Niners are going to fall off. I really do. The Niners were the most dominant team last year. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl and represented the NFC. But behind them, I mean, the Eagles, they had some defensive issues. And then the offensive play calling was a little shaky. I wonder how they're going to do with that. The Lions look good. They choked against against the Niners. Wonder how Laporta's going to do coming off that injury. The Bears are going to be interesting with Caleb Williams coming starting, and they got all them receivers over there now. NFC is going to be very, very interesting. The Rams good that the running game, and the Stafford, can he still play? Who else? The Falcons are very intriguing. I want to know what the Falcons are going to do. They signed Cousins, but then they drafted the kid from Washington that I wanted Seattle to get. So it's very intriguing. We're going to talk more about it Friday. I know I said goodbye already once. Guys, leave your comments in the comment section if you get a chance. I appreciate you guys. And thank you for listening to me jibber jabber for the last, half an hour. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I got to touch base with my co-hosts and see when they want to come on and talk some ish. All right. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a good night and have a great Labor Day tomorrow. All right. Peace.